Anyways, welcome back to chapter 12. We're going to focus on IO, reading files, parsing CLI arguments, and filtering text with iterators. It's the perfect place to level up our task manager. We're going to basically build it from a one-shot app where we just run it once and it shows us the task manager to now kind of building the scaffolds for the CLI app itself. Now, let's move on to the actual task manager, shall we? So as you can see here, on my screen, we're going to go to storage.rs because that's where we originally built our save tasks and load tasks. Like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the previous videos for when we created these. But we created a new function here called search tasks, and as you can see, we have a quote A. This is a lifetime. If you don't know what that is, again, you just run the wrong video, man. Go backwards. Anyways, we're going to pass the argument of query with a mutable string and contents with a lifetime of the mutable string, and it's going to return a vector of the lifetime of that string. So basically what this means is this string will live as long as the lifetime of these contents will. What we're doing here is we're taking the query, we're just lowercasing it, that's all this does, nothing fancy. And then in the contents, as you can see here, we're going to do a dot lines, which separates these into a vector of lines. And then we're going to filter based on a object of line. So this is called iterator, and we're going to talk more about this in the next chapter. But this is an iterator, and it's going to iterate through the lines as line. And we're going to lowercase it, and we're going to check to see if it contains our query. And if it does, then we're going to collect it. And by collect, we're going to save it. And that's pretty much it. We're going to now, and then that's going to return us the vector string. Let's move on to the main.rs. So what do we need to add in here? Well, we have to add in the storage, search tasks. And down here, we didn't do anything too fancy. Everything is the same, except we added this print intro CLI. What this does is it just creates the block that you would want to kind of repeat so that you know your application is infinite. When you're in the actual terminal, if you've ever seen it before, somebody types something with --help, they get this whole block of helper functions and stuff like that. This is kind of technically what that could be. So then we create a new function here, we call it run. We're going to pass it a config of and mutable string, and our result's going to be pretty much a void, otherwise it's a dynamic error. And as you can see, we're going to call our print intro. So basically, just imagine this gets printed first, then we go into a forever loop where we're going to first print out the little slash that you see in terminals. And we're going to now look for creating an input field. Now, where did I put that guy? Right here. So basically, what this is doing is if you've worked with Python or C++ or C, it's basically just taking your input from your command line and it's storing it in your data type. And as you can see here, we're just grabbing the IO. So we're calling a standard IO, standard in, and we're going to basically read our command from our standard in, and we're going to then trim it, check to make sure that it's not one of these commands. If it is, we're going to print by, otherwise we're going to move on. So once we've done this, we have now created a command key term with our input from the terminal, and once again we're going to check this quit. This is right. Okay, so technically I've already done this, so that's why I don't need that there. See, we can always make changes to our stuff here. Now, why am I... okay. So this is becoming a warning because I'm not really using this yet. But anyways. So then, once we've done our command... Why am I getting an error? So 1 second. There's an error. Binary cannot be applied to binary rule. The foreign item result doesn't implement partial EQ. I don't really need that, I guess, either. Technically, I do need this. Why am I getting this issue? Let's result use size of error. Fix the problem. Fix. Let's see what the fix could be here. You need to handle the rest result returned by file. Sure. Okay. It's considered. It's fine. Okay. This basically is just checking to see if the bytes read is 0. If it is, then you know we've received it. Otherwise, we're not inputting anything, and that's fine. Moving on, we have our input field. We're going to check for if it's quit. Now, what's the problem here? Remove these parentheses. Sure. Okay. And then now we're going to do a match with our command, and we're going to parse it as a number, and then we're going to check and see if one of these commands is hit. Otherwise, we're going to break. Okay, it's not other. We can just use the wildcard, I guess. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So let's see if this runs. CD chapter 12 cargo run. And there you go. There you have it. So we're gonna do add tasks, and there it says add task 1. We'll do that, and then if we press anything else, it's gonna exit. And that's our CLI. Now we can add a little bit more onto this if we wanted to. For example, we can use our resource, our storage that we created here, search tasks, and we can pretty much create a unit test case for this, right? Where we create a just like we did in chapter 11, we can create some integration tests to make sure that this is actually working before we integrate this into our CLI. So these are some of the things that you can do with this function. Moving on, next we're going to be talking about chapter 13. It's going to be about iterators, collectors, and everything else. I'm sorry if this was a little fast. I recorded this video and then somehow it got corrupted, and I didn't really want to redo all that work. So if there's any issues, or if you feel like you're not understanding anything, please put it in the comments, or if you have any suggestions on how I can do this better, leave it down below so that I can help you guys out. Yeah, that's it. Oh, also, I wanted to do this cool thing where if you guys have projects, it doesn't have to be in C, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be in Rust, it doesn't have to be in C, it can be in anything, honestly. If you want it reviewed, or if you want to ask questions about it, feel free to message me or just comment down below, and I'll try to get to as many of these questions as possible, and even make a video or something about it so that if other people are having the same problems, they can relate back to the video. Yeah, thanks guys, bye.